Welcome to the Game Hall. I'm Rob, and join me today as I unbox Nefer, the Egyptian worker placement game. Thank you for joining me for another unboxing. As you may have seen from the title or the intro, today I am unboxing Nefer. This is a Egyptian theme worker placement set collection tile retrieval game, as far as I know. I'm gonna be honest, this has been sitting on our shelves for a couple months now. You know, you get something based sometimes on the cover and sometimes on the theme. And this one, as I'll show you, is Egyptian themed. Why that speaks to me, I don't know. Maybe just from when I was a kid, we had to study a lot of that in school, or we read a lot of themed books based on that. But this one seemed appropriately themed for what it was trying to do, and it seemed like that's something I gravitate a lot to, is just games that have a really strong theme, even if the mechanics are I won't say strong, because I want a game with strong mechanics, but I want the theme to kind of, you know, feel like it. So when you get done that 90 minutes or 2 hours, you know, you feel like you kind of went somewhere. This particular one is produced by Ludonova, if I'm saying it correctly, Games. Like I said, it was from a year ago that it did come out, and I picked it up. It is 1 to 4 players, 60 to 120 minutes, and ages 14 and up. The wrapping on this is, you might not be able to tell, but the cellophane, I don't know, it's because we've had it for, I mean, most other games don't have this, but it's a little looser than usual. As a preface to the opening, if you're first time joining me, I don't go through the teach on this video. I go through just opening the box and seeing what the components look like and what's included. So if you're ready and I'm ready, we're gonna jump right into Nefer. Again, this, to my knowledge, is a worker placement game, but it had a lot of cool little components and all that were on brand or on theme. So you can see the box does have, that's cool. I like that. Right out the gate, we have lots of gel packets and lots of little wooden components. I don't think I left, I usually leave the price on the box. I want to say this was probably around $60 that I got it from our local game store. Right out the gate, there looks like some sort of gold book, a wooden die, just so you can see thematically carries over. Gel packet for freshness. Then we got more. These look like little, maybe they're ceramic pots in, I assume, player colors. If these are the player colors, they're very pastel. They're very Easter to me. But I guess that works. You ever play, like, what's your favorite player color? Mine is always blue, so usually I have some variation, but Libby always plays with green, so if that is the case in this game, she will not have her usual color to rely on. These look like some sphinxes. And they're in the player colors as well. Again, Easter sphinxes. I don't know if I usually associate pastels with Egyptian themed, and maybe that's just my ignorance on that culture and that period of time. And then here we got some, like, I want to say the poses you've seen in hieroglyphics. They're small, so the cutout and the fact that they're cut through, it's kind of cool. And they are printed on each side. There are those in the player colors. There are also what I'm assuming are sarcophaguses. And they're gold and player colors. And then there's just plain little rectangles. So maybe they're like score trackers, but again, colors in player colors and gold. Then we got little boats. Because there is a river aspect to this game, the River Nile, obviously. So we have that. And keep going. We got little, I just keep saying little before everything because it is small. So these look like, I mean, if you've ever seen the movie The Mummy, maybe your knowledge is covered. Here's scarab beetles in player colors. And then I forget, is this like the Eye of Ra, or am I just mixing that up with the movie reference as well? But they're in player colors. Again, I'm really impressed with the cutouts on the pieces themselves. The fact that they're just solid. They could have just went with a simple like circular token with just paint of that, and the fact that they cut those out. And now it's really gonna test my knowledge, and I don't think I'm gonna get this right. So these, they look like little shields, but I don't know if that's supposed to be a clay pot or some reference. And then, oh, these are lotuses, right? Are lotuses, or lodi, are they Egyptian? But those are also, and then there's what looks like, oh wow, there's a bunch of little, so these look like little mustache hairs. You could see, it's really hard to see that. And these look like little bombs almost. So a variety of pieces there in player colors. Then we have gel packet for freshness. And this looks like maybe a way to build a small pyramid. I don't know if you can see that from overhead. I'll try to zoom in. It has a little gold top, and it looks like you can build a total of 3 of them if you stack them, which is interesting. See it from the side view. Do my best so it doesn't fall all over the place. But otherwise, it stacks. I don't know if you can see it from the front camera. So that's interesting. And, oh, maybe there are more than 3. There was just 3 in that bag. Because on this bag, no, this is separate. So I'm guessing these pieces all build as well, and maybe they reveal a bonus as you uncover them. It's my best guess. I obviously don't have them totally aligned right because the sizes are different, but they also look like they do the same thing. So that's an interesting 3D component of it. I'm gonna push that up here because we got more. We have a draw bag, 2 draw bags. Pretty good quality. They drawstring properly. More wooden pieces hiding. So the one thing we have looked like a sarcophagi like top, but these look like the full mummy end sarcophagus in player colors. So there is no shortage of component pieces in player colors. And there is no shortage of more and bags, which is good. Because you never know when you first open these. I always talk about it like, I'm probably gonna put everything back like it is now. But after the first time you play it, you'll like, oh, it's easier if you separate the player colors. So I'll probably do that in the future. Here are more player color pieces. These ones are just as tiny. They are nothing painted on these ones. There are little fish ones, and is this called an ankh? Am I pronouncing that right? The ankhs, the little tiny ankh and fish. So we got that. Then we have something from the creative team. A series of board games for expert players that offer a journey through most influential cultures and civilizations in human history. So they also have done Sabika, which I'm going to really show my ignorance here. Sabika, you are part of the majestic Alhambra in Granada. So that's cool. And then there's a mystery 3rd one that they're working on. So I'm guessing Nefer was the 2nd in the series, and I do not have Sabika. So if this game's cool, that might be one I need to check out. Here are, unwrap this. Player boards, possibly. Yes, player boards, foldable player boards. So you do have, since it's a 4-player game, you do have 4 of them. So this will take up some table space. That's cool. So we can already see the Ankh pieces and the fish, or there's going to be tracks in this game. Going to be things to uncover, possibly pyramid pieces to pull off boards. There's your sarcophagi pieces, so, and then there's your eyes. So there's definitely gonna be a lot to set up and remove, I think. And then we have the rule book. And they were nice enough to print it in, what is this, Devere? They printed a couple languages. They also have a solo mode. So I guess this is technically, like I said, 1 to 4, so that would include solo. And then permissions of Khufu. That's the eyes, the boats, apprentices. So these count as the apprentices, priestesses, mummies, sarcophagi, the Ankhs. So I got something right. Feathers. So they're supposed to be feathers, not mustache hairs. Seals, orbs, not bombs, water lilies, so not lotuses, limestone blocks, hieroglyph counters, scarabs, and baskets. This is cool. And let's take a look. Ooh, I love when games have a basic iconography cheat sheet, so that's good. And then looks like a little bit of punching is needed, maybe. So this is interesting because this punches out, and this is just printed on. So this is just additional ink they used, and this is all you need, I'm hoping. I'm gonna set it aside. I'm not gonna throw it away until I'm sure. And then we have tiles. So yes, this is a lot of cardboard-based tiles, and they are thickness-wise, they're pretty good. Probably 2 millimeter, not super thick, but I don't feel any risk of damaging it as I punch it out. I've talked about this before with other games. Certain ones, when you go to punch it, you risk the artwork tearing literally, but it doesn't feel like that's the case with these. They're really good. They punch out easy. I don't have to force them. Let's try the smaller ones. Yep, smaller ones, same thing. Yep. Yep, very easy and good. Easy to read too. I will punch those fully out in a second because they're gonna have to get added to this. More and more punch outs, scrolls. So a lot to punch out, more to punch out, and then the board. So let's pull the board out. It even says Nefer in the box, so you can't lose the bottom of the box, even though you wouldn't already. I'm going to push this over here. And then let's see how big this board actually is. She's a 3 wide. All right. So this is the board. Gel packets for disorganization. There we go. So looking at the board, it's nice, it's printed well. There are spots for different things. Like I said, I know the boats will go here. There's going to be certain retrieval spots, worker placement spots. I'm assuming these are maybe the worker placement spots. Could be wrong, but lots of tracks. And it's, I mean, thematically, it seems really cool. I'm excited to really play this one. I'm trying to see if there is a iconography to determine, because it looked like this was printed on both sides, and I assume one side is possibly for a less player count, but I'm not seeing anything out the gate. So let's see, 1, 2, and 3 plus, and the other side says the same thing. So I'm going to punch everything out, and then I'm going to take a look at the rules and see if there's a distinguish between this side of the board and the other. I will return to show you how to put it back in the box, although I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be pretty easy. There's not a lot of, there's no trays, there's no anything. It's probably just bag and drop it in, and hopefully no lid lift. But I'll be back in a few and discuss further. All right, so that took a little bit. I would say that took about 15 minutes total to punch out all of the individual little pieces and bag them. I did have to combine some. As many bags as they gave us, maybe could have used a couple more. So later on, I might go back and separate some of the pieces out. I do want to comment that on some of the pieces, because I kind of rushed through it when I was looking at the cardboard, but there is some great artwork and iconography. The little animal sarcophagi too, the jewels. There's a lot of great artwork on here that I don't want to brush over, because I do think, again, that is probably going to marry a lot of the theme together. I did find out that the this piece connects down here to the quarry. So not only does the board take up this, but you will have to have some room for this and your player boards. The other thing is the player count for the side of the board. So yes, there is one, and it is really hard to find if you were looking in the book. This little tiny thing here, let's see, I don't know if I can zoom in on that or not. This little coin thing here in this upper right hand corner tells you that this side of the board is for one player only. So I guess the solo mode. If you flip that board over, like I am doing, that is a little more clearer, but that is 2, 3, or 4. So that little tiny thing is what's going to tell you what side you're on. You want to make sure if you're playing with more people, not solo, that you're on this side. So now I'll show you how to put it away, and just like I pretty much suspected, this is going to go board first, and then you could put the rule book on top, which most people do, but I'm going to put the flat things first. We're going to have the rule books, the iconography guide, the quarry, then I'm going to put the player boards. The bag this came in is probably not reusable, it's already splitting, but I'm going to try to use it as long as I can. The draw bags, then your bags of pieces, which there are a lot. This feels like a table dumper. You know, you get a box open, and then rather than pick through everything, you're gonna just dump it on the table and then go from there. Helps if you seal the bags too, so little pieces don't go flying everywhere. Boats are meant for the board game, not for the table or floor. Once you get all of these in here, you got your box. Seems pretty easy. No lid lift. Nope. And then just to touch on what this piece again was, this is, you could throw this away. So it came with that quarry piece attached, I guess additional artwork for whichever, but no need to keep it. You can toss it. And that is unboxing Nefer. Thank you for joining me as always. If you're looking for more games, please don't hesitate to comment if there's something you want to see the inside of. I have a lot of games here that I've already unboxed. If you want me to go through the components, I don't mind doing that as well. Teaches, I'll get around to it. Teaches are a lot harder to do. Obviously, there are people who are far more qualified than me, but I'm like a kid on Christmas when it comes to getting a new box, opening up and going through the pieces, and I wanted to share that with you. So thanks again for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, keep gaming.